his interview. But I mean, what can you say? You saw Chocolatito. You saw. This is the environment that they all train in up here. There's Trainer of the Year, Abel Sanchez, and this is really his. This is Abel's domain up here. This is his scientific lab. That's why I always call him the mad scientist. That he's able to, guys that come up here, whatever it is, whether he makes them swim across a lake or the altitude, whatever it is, whatever he's feeding them up here is just, it seems like the knockout percentage of anyone that Abel works with up here is very high. In fact, Gennady's knockout percentage is the highest in middleweight boxing history for any middleweight champion. So that's a huge statement for a middleweight division with such a storied history, so many great champions in the past, and for Gennady to have the highest knockout percentage is really a huge statement. It's just a testament to what Abel is able to do and refine Gennady's style. This day is really a day to let everyone in, kind of behind the scenes look at what happens up here, what the guys go through, doing the interviews while they're in their gym mode. I want to reiterate that the HBO telecast with Gennady's fight, Gennady versus Kell Brook, is going to be live at 2:30 Pacific time, 5:30 New York time, and we're doing a special arrangement with the Forum, so all the fans that come down early to the Forum, because that's really become Gennady's house, is that all the fans that come down, they can watch his fight live at the Forum. So anyone that's not able to watch it at home, or anyone that fans especially that want to come early are going to be able to watch it at the terrace outdoors for the tailgate party for Chocolatito's fight. So that'll be a great event. It's just a great night of boxing. You know, this has really become literally the most talked about fight of the year since we announced it, since Eddie Hearn and I announced Kell Brook would be the one who not only spoke about fighting Triple G, but actually signed the contract. Everyone knows the history of all the names we went down, you know, starting with Canelo, with the WBC mandate, and then Canelo moved down to 154. Then it was to fulfill Gennady's dream of unifying all the titles, and we made a significant offer to Billy Joe Saunders, not only to fight him here, but actually go to the UK to fight him in his hometown, which a lot of fighters, you'd never see that from a very successful fighter here in America, to offer to go to a challenger's hometown or home country. So Billy Joe Saunders didn't get very far. Then Eubank seemed like he wanted to fight. Eddie Hearn ran into a lot of problems. He couldn't get Eubank to close the deal. So we literally, when he said, let me check with Kell Brook, it took him 2 hours to get back to me after he spoke with Kell Brook and his trainer. We literally changed the names from Eubank Jr. to Kell Brook, and that's who signed the contract. So we have to give Kell Brook a lot of credit, but you also have to understand the reaction of the UK fans, going back to the Carl Froch days when Carl Froch was tweeting out photos that he's too big and too strong for Gennady. And I was talking to Eddie Hearn about going over there and fighting Carl Froch, then he wound up retiring, and then you know what happened just now. So we have to give Kell Brook a lot of credit. The UK fans, you can see the response. It sold out literally in one day, the O2 in London. So the reaction has been tremendous. The international reaction, again, it's part of our strategy with Gennady. His focus and the priority is to build him here, continue to build him in America on HBO, but not to forget about his international fan base. That was the whole reason behind him fighting in Monte Carlo 3 times. He fought in Panama. He fought in Panama twice. He fought in Ukraine. He fought in Kazakhstan. He fought all over the world basically, and this is his first time in England. And it's really so that the European fans can watch him really in prime time over there. So it's a great night of boxing, the best triple header I think that I can remember on HBO. You have 4 undefeated champions. You have not only Gennady fighting Kell Brook, 2 undefeated champions, then Chocolatito and Cuadras, 2 undefeated champions, then you add in Soto Caras and Kamagai. It's an amazing night. So With that, I'd like to turn it over to Abel Sanchez, who can explain some of the things they do up here in training camp and maybe give you an idea, some of the techniques. And I don't know anyone that knows the secret, but Abel would be the one with the game plan and who's devised the strategy of Gennady's style, cutting off the ring and just mixing his style, basing his style after Chavez Sr.
First of all, thank you for coming out. I'm standing up here, but it takes a team to put us where we're at. Ben Lira is a very important part of this team. Maxim Golovkin, Gennady's brother, is a very important part of this team. We always have great sparring. This time we have three very good guys that are giving us all we can handle. That's Deshaun Johnson, Darnell Boone, Kenneth McNeil. They're available if you want to talk to them. Today all we're going to do, actually Tuesdays and Thursdays is our conditioning day, so we're going to do some strength and conditioning. But the secret really is just, as one ex-fighter of mine said, inject them with HAW, just hard-ass work. This is every day that we come here, we come with the intention of making ourselves better. They have a good leader. These kids come in and they watch him train and they want to train just like he does. And that makes it such an easy job for all of us as coaches. Gennady is pumped. He's anxious to get in the ring. He's only 2 weeks away from leaving for England, and he can't wait. He feels that this is the kind of fight that'll further even that reputation of one of the greatest fighters that I gave him, one of the greatest fighters of all time. He will definitely put on a dramatic show, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you for coming out.
So with that, and again, the work that Abel does up here behind the scenes, and he introduced Ben and Max and everyone that helps out. It's like they're day in and day out in the gym, running in the morning, and all the work behind the scenes is what you see when Gennady walks in on fight night, under the spotlights. But it takes a big team, but with everyone's effort working together, and certainly under Abel's leadership, you see why he was voted Trainer of the Year for last year. So with that, I'd like to have Gennady say a few words, and then we can open it up to the questions.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for coming up. I want to say thanks to my team, to my promotions, to my sparring partner. It's a great atmosphere in this training camp. Thanks for your support. It's very important for me and for my career. Thank you so much.
I'd like to just acknowledge HBO. Since Gennady's HBO debut, September 2012, his career has skyrocketed. It was a hard battle getting him on HBO. I had meetings with HBO and Showtime, just basically begging to put an undefeated WBA middleweight champion on U.S. premium cable TV. That was started in January 2012. September was when we actually got the date, and since then there's really no looking back what Gennady has accomplished. But it's not only my efforts or our efforts to market him, it's what Gennady and Abel are able to do as far as providing excitement in the ring. If he doesn't have 22 knockouts in a row, if he doesn't have an exciting fight every time he goes out, it makes my job a lot harder, especially when you're talking about bigger TV deals, going into bigger arenas. The Madison Square Garden was sold out last year for the David Lemieux fight. Then the Forum was sold out against Dominic Wade, and now the O2 in London is sold out. So you don't see in today's age a fighter that's willing to fight in not only different cities but different countries, and selling out the arenas in the process. And I think that's a testament to his style, his excitement, and his likability. The fans just like someone to root for. And Gennady is so respectful of the sport of boxing and his opponents and everything that and the game plan that Abel comes up with, that it makes it easy to root for him, especially when he has so many knockouts in a row. So with that, Bernie, we can open up for
You
questions.
raise your hand if you have a question. After Gennady's done training, Tom and I will be hosting media lunch at the world-famous Hacienda, which is right over here. So,
Best Mexican food, and that's also, Gennady eats there very often, and another reason, I think, for his punching style.
Yeah, this Mexican style.
Goes along with his Mexican style, exactly.
you raise your hand if you have a question. Anyone?
Bernie, back here.
Go ahead, please, Anthony.
What was the decision to go to England to fight Kell Brook? Why not make Kell Brook come to the United States since he is defending his championship belts?
It started with the discussions after we couldn't make the Canelo fight. It started with the discussions of Billy Joe Saunders. He made it clear that he preferred the fight against Gennady in the UK. In order to try to make that fight, after speaking with Gennady and Abel, they agreed to go over there to fight. And Gennady has over 350 amateur fights in his career. He's fought all over the world. We just saw the Olympic Games. He won the silver medal in the 2004 Olympics. So he doesn't care where he fights. He told me before, look, the ring is this size here. Doesn't matter if it's in the gym, doesn't matter if it's in LA, New York, London. He just, it's the ring and just whoever's in the other corner. My job to put the other fighter in the other corner or in the ring. And so it wasn't really a hard decision. And with the reaction and with the demand from the UK fans, we already had, after we couldn't make the Saunders fight, Eddie Hearn had already reserved the O2 Arena for September 10th. He already had booked the date for Sky Box Office, their pay-per-view platform. And so everything was already in motion to go September 10th in London. When he was able to get Kell Brook to accept the fight, that's why it just made sense to stay in London.
Do you think it's going to be a hostile environment for him, or do you think the fans are going to, the majority going for Triple G?
You know what? I think I know the British boxing fans are very educated boxing fans. They appreciate talent. What showed me is that Gennady really has transcended the sport of boxing. Not one demographic, not one nationality. It's just everyone appreciates his style. Is when he fought Marco Antonio Rubio at the StubHub Center. He set the attendance record at the StubHub Center. So many great fighters have fought before at the StubHub Center. And Gennady actually set the record. And there is a large majority of Mexican boxing fans that were chanting for Triple G. So that showed me that he can transcend, really the nationalities. And I'm sure, Kell Brook's a very popular fighter in the UK. He's got his own very strong fan base that he's built up. He's another fighter that's not afraid. He fought Sean Porter in that arena at the StubHub Center, so he's not afraid to leave the UK and fight internationally. And he's going to have a lot of supporters, but we know Gennady is also going to have a lot of supporters, so we expect it to be a tremendous atmosphere in the arena. But I would say it's going to be a very evenly mixed fan base.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Go ahead, Michael.
Question for Gennady. When you first came to America, nobody knew who you were. Now, as Tom mentioned, you've transcended the sport. You've sold out arenas in Los Angeles, New York, now London. 4 years later, did you ever think you'd be this popular?
I respect my fans because for me it's not important. Yeah, of course I come to the United States. Nobody doesn't know who I am. Everybody knows my style. After first round, after first fight, everybody loved my style. I hope I go to UK. After this fight, everybody loved my style. Just respect my fans.
Anyone else questions? We're gonna we'll take a picture with the belts.
Yeah, we'll bring the titles. These are the 4 championship belts and titles that Gennady's worked so hard to get. This will be the first time he's not the interim champion of the WBC. He's actually the defending champion of the WBC title.
Why don't we take a team picture of everybody too?
Yeah, and we'll have a team photo as well.
Maxim.
And then we'll bring Why don't we let Gennady take a photo by himself
Yes.
first? Take a photo like this first.
Yes.
Straight over here. Michael, you
Okay.
straight up here to Michael, the white shirt.
Now we'll do a team photo.
Over here, straight over here to the left, real quick. And back over here to the right, if you don't mind, please. And one more up top for Michael in the white shirt, please. Okay, we'll let Gennady get to work.
Can I get Gennady one right there, please?
Shot.
Gennady.
We're gonna have a photo with the sparring partners as well, because we really appreciate all the work.
Can we get one more by itself with the belt, so?
Sorry?
One more with Triple G by itself with the belt, please?
Hold on, let him wear himself. Wait.
Thank
It's
you.
a workout for him holding the belts that long.
Okay. Sean, turn out.
So these three gentlemen are an integral part of his preparation as well. So we definitely want to show respect to his training partners.
Gentlemen, if you could turn over here too, please, real quick. There you go. Perfect.